A massive rift tore through the surface of the Earth. Chaos erupted everywhere, buildings collapsed, and people frantically searched for safety in terror. A powerful earthquake once again shook the planet. And this is no mere coincidence, but a new link in a series of rapidly intensifying natural disasters. In this review, you'll learn more about this earthquake and other natural catastrophes that occurred between March 26th and April 1st. North America. Starting on March 26th, intense rainfall, accompanied by storms, struck the Rio Grande Valley, which stretches along the border between the United States and Mexico, causing massive flooding in the region. In the U.S., the most significant damage was recorded in the southern part of Texas. In just 6 hours, nearly 380 liters of rain per square meter fell in Willacy County, causing many residents to be trapped in their homes. This level of flooding had not occurred in the area since 1967. In the city of Harlingen, in Cameron County, more rainfall fell in less than 2 days than the area's annual average. In Hidalgo County, the storm brought destructive winds and tornadoes. Interstate 2 was completely flooded, and numerous abandoned cars were left on the roads. In the city of McAllen, heavy rainfall caused the flooding of the largest hospital, where a torrent of water collapsed a wall and filled the corridors. As a result of the disaster, 3 people lost their lives in Hidalgo County. In Mexico, heavy downpours triggered flooding in the northern part of the country, affecting 4 states at once. In the state of Tamaulipas, a swollen river caused a mass evacuation, and in the city of Reynosa, 1 person lost their life. In the city of Monterrey, powerful currents swept away cars and flooded homes. In the state of Coahuila, water levels in some areas rose to critical levels, isolating several communities from the outside world. It is worth noting that in some places, the rainfall significantly exceeded the forecasted values. Starting on March 29th, a powerful cold front caused a sharp deterioration in the weather across a vast area of the United States and Canada. In the Canadian province of Ontario, an enormous amount of snow and freezing rain fell. The weight of the thick layer of ice caused trees to fall, blocking roads, destroying buildings, and downing power lines. More than 370,000 homes and businesses were left without electricity. A state of emergency was declared in the cities of Orillia and Peterborough. Residents were strongly urged to stay at home and limit water usage to avoid overloading the sewage systems. On the Trans-Canada Highway, ice layers up to 4 centimeters thick formed in some areas, making travel extremely dangerous. In the United States, severe damage was caused in the state of Michigan. In the northern part of the state, more than 1 centimeter of ice formed on trees and power lines. In the city of Negaunee, by the evening of March 30th, the snow cover reached nearly half a meter. In Kalamazoo County, 3 people were killed and 3 others injured when an icy tree fell on their car. The storm also affected other states, causing thunderstorms, large hail, and strong winds, with gusts reaching up to 155 kilometers per hour. Tornadoes were reported in Missouri, Tennessee, and Michigan. In Oklahoma and Arkansas, large hailstones reached sizes of over 7 centimeters. The raging storm left more than 400,000 customers without electricity across 5 states. The storms resulted in the deaths of at least 7 people. It is worth noting that March of this year was the windiest on record in several cities and across the country in the history of observations. Seismic activity. On March 28th, central Myanmar was shaken by a powerful earthquake with a magnitude of 7.7, which was felt across several Southeast Asian countries: Thailand, China, India, Vietnam, and Bangladesh. The epicenter was located near Mandalay, a city with a population of over 1 million people. The focus of the seismic event was at a depth of just 10 kilometers, which made the impact exceptionally powerful. In the central and northwestern regions of the country, over 10,000 buildings were destroyed or severely damaged. Roads and bridges were shattered, and temples, mosques, and centuries-old historical monuments collapsed. Power supply and telephone communication were cut off. Due to the destruction of the control tower, Mandalay International Airport ceased operations. The railway tracks were twisted as if they were made of clay rather than metal. Several regions were cut off from the rest of the world due to landslides. All of this made it extremely difficult or even impossible for rescuers and humanitarian aid to arrive in a timely manner. Due to the lack of necessary heavy machinery, rescuers and the relatives of the victims had to manually clear the rubble, facing an acute shortage of water and food, all while enduring daytime temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius. According to official information as of April 2nd, the number of casualties reached 3,003 people, while over 4,600 were injured. However, the true scale of the destruction and the actual number of victims remain a matter of speculation. It is impossible to describe in words the full scale of the tragedy that unfolded in this region. Many hospitals were destroyed, and doctors were forced to treat the wounded under the open sky. The bodies of the deceased, trapped under the rubble, began to decompose in the intense heat. This natural disaster significantly worsened the already critical humanitarian situation in the country. This earthquake not only became one of the most powerful in the country's history in the last 100 years, but it also attracted the interest of specialists due to its unusual characteristics. The seismic event triggered a rupture extending up to 400 kilometers along the Sagaing fault line, running from north to south through the center of Myanmar. The speed of the rock rupture was comparable to the speed of a supersonic jet. A seismologist from the Helmholtz Center for Geosciences described the earthquake as a super shear, an extremely rare type of seismic event in which the energy of the rupture spreads across the Earth's surface at an unusually high speed. The super shear effect can concentrate seismic energy before the rupture, leading to increased destruction even at a distance from the epicenter. The destruction in Bangkok, the capital of Thailand, located approximately 1,000 kilometers from the epicenter, serves as proof of this. During the earthquake, a 30-story skyscraper under construction collapsed, resulting in the deaths of at least 22 people, while more than 70 remained trapped under the rubble of the building. The tall buildings swayed so intensely that water from the rooftop pools splashed out in powerful waves, knocking people off their feet. Cracks formed in thousands of buildings. Just 2 days later, another powerful earthquake with a magnitude of 7.0 struck the southern waters of the Pacific Ocean, near Tonga. It caused minor damage in Tonga and led to the temporary evacuation of residents due to the potential threat of a tsunami. According to locals who are well acquainted with earthquakes in this seismically active region, the shaking was unusually prolonged. A few hours later, a second earthquake with a magnitude of 6.2 was recorded in the same area. It is important to note that at the end of March this year, there was a sudden increase in seismic activity. In just 12 days, 11 earthquakes with a magnitude above 6 were recorded. Argentina. On March 27th, a powerful storm hit the Argentine provinces of Córdoba and Santa Fe. Wind gusts reached speeds of 115 kilometers per hour, uprooting trees and damaging power lines. In the city of Casilda, Santa Fe province, heavy rain flooded streets and residential homes in just 40 minutes. Due to the damage and power outages, schools and educational institutions had to close. 3 people were injured from hail and falling branches. The bad weather disabled Route 11, a key highway connecting the center and northern parts of the country. Heavy rain and gusty winds caused traffic accidents and multi-kilometer traffic jams. On March 28th, the city of Funes was hit by an especially intense hailstorm. In some areas, snowdrifts of up to 20 centimeters formed. The weight of the hail caused roofs to collapse on some buildings. Strong winds tore the roofs off the fire station, city hall, a bank branch, and a sports club. In the province of Córdoba, the most affected area was the Union department. In the city of Belleville, wind gusts reached 146 kilometers per hour. In rural areas, agricultural structures were destroyed, and corn and soybean crops were almost completely wiped out. In the city of Ucacha, the storm lasted only 20 minutes, but during that time it caused significant damage. Strong winds overturned a truck, hail damaged roofs, shattered car windows, and destroyed crops in the fields. Australia. On March 27th, continuous heavy rainfall over several days led to a historic flood in Queensland. As a result, the western regions of the state experienced the most powerful flooding in the last 50 years. For example, in the small town of Eromanga, almost 2 years' worth of rainfall fell in just a few days. The Premier of Queensland described the situation as unprecedented. The flood inundated an area of approximately 500,000 square kilometers, including arid areas that host the largest livestock farms. More than 100,000 head of cattle were swept away by the floodwaters. The animals either died or are considered missing. The fire service assisted surviving animals who were left without food by dropping bales of hay from helicopters. About 4,000 kilometers of roadways were submerged. In the neighboring state of New South Wales, where abnormal rainfall was also observed, one person is reported missing. Dozens have been evacuated, and some may be isolated from the outside world, possibly for several weeks.
In some areas, water swamped homes.
Uganda. On March 26th, heavy rains in Kampala, the capital of Uganda, caused severe flooding. In several areas of the city, residential homes were submerged and some buildings were completely destroyed. Traffic on several roads leading to the city center came to a halt as water partially or completely flooded numerous vehicles. Raging currents swept away pedestrians and caused road accidents. The natural disaster claimed the lives of at least 7 people, including 2 young children who could not be saved from their flooded home. Natural disasters are intensifying, and it is becoming impossible to ignore this. People are noticing more and more often that something strange is happening. They discuss what is going on, sharing their own feelings. Even in the comments under news stories about natural disasters, it's clear how deeply this affects and concerns compassionate people around the world, regardless of where they live. We sincerely thank you, our viewers, for your heartfelt, warm, and deeply thoughtful comments under the videos. Thank you for your support, participation, and empathy for those who have already been affected by these destructive catastrophes. But here's what's surprising. Many people focus on individual events, but they fail to see that they are just part of a much bigger picture. They see the consequences but don't stop to think about the root cause. And most importantly, many lose hope, thinking there's no way out. But there is. And this is exactly what we talk about in every one of our videos. Why is this happening? Perhaps people just hope that one day they'll turn on the news and hear that a solution is already in place. Or even better, they might hear that the catastrophes have stopped and everything is calm again. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. As long as we stay silent, as long as we don't ask questions or demand the truth about the real causes of what's happening, nothing will change. Real solutions will only be seriously discussed from the highest platforms when it becomes important for each and every one of us. When millions of people demand answers and action. For now, the truth is being conveyed by only a few. Independent scientists, researchers, volunteers, and just compassionate people. We're glad to be among those who don't turn a blind eye to the problem and speak out openly. And we sincerely hope that you will stand with us too, because it's up to all of us to determine what tomorrow will look like.